Yeah, so today basically what we're going to be going through is creating two types of company pages. The first one is going to be a standard company, and the second one is going to be if it's on an Accenture domain. So what we're looking at right here is the getting started guide for creating a new company page, which I'll share the URL with you shortly after so you can have a go at this as well. So the first step we need to do, of course, is land on this page. And what we're going to be doing today is using Apple, just an example, to set up as a brand on Relayto. So as you can see, the first step here, we need to set up a page. So you need to click on step 2 here, and this will take you to this page here. So what we're looking at here is, let's just delete this. So what we're looking at here is basically the form we need to fill in to then create a company page. There's a few things we need to add, there's a few things we don't need to worry about. So of course the name's going to be important, description, the logo of the company, just do EU Ireland for now, and if it's US, do Accenture. Hide company page, this is going to be for Accenture, you don't need to hide it for anything else. And of course, we have some down here. Now, the only ones we need to focus on down here are going to be the sidebar icon, the cover image, and the CSS. We don't need to worry about Wave icon, social image, or the custom HTML. This is all for more complex use cases. Pardon?
Okay. We can even change the favicon. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. But for this use case, we'll keep it simple. We're just going for these three ones here that we're going to be using. Okay, so let's say we have a demo that we want to do for Apple, and we're going to create a brand for it now. Okay, so the first thing we do is try Apple in here, and then what we need is a logo. So I use this website here. It just gives me good quality logos. So I'm just trying Apple in. Again, I can share this with you, but you can also use Google Images and use what you want. Okay, so I'm going to go to this logo. What I do to make the process quicker is I don't save as an image. I copy the image address. I go back to my company page, I upload logo, and it has a choice to either drag and drop, like a PNG, SVG in, or as a link URL. So I can paste that in. It will then extract it here, and I can upload it like this. Just makes it a little bit easier than downloading all your assets beforehand. Now, we can see right here already, I've made a mistake. This is a good thing to know. So this is how it's going to look. It's going to be in a circular content. You can see this is too big for the actual container what is within. So I'm going to search and find a different one so this fits. Otherwise, when I actually save this in kind of that little area that you see the logo, this is how it's going to look, and that's going to look terrible. So let's find a different one that we can use that's going to fit. So maybe these may be all the same size.
Do we know the size that we need to use, or every time we will need to like just try to fit it in?
I'll check with the key to the exact sizing, but no, I don't know the exact dimensions for that, to be honest.
Okay, got it. It's quite strange because like usually you would not have it cropped, but it will like resize automatically.
Yeah, no, I agree with you actually. That's a good point. I'll look into the key. Let's just try this one here quickly. Let this load up. And again, not all images are like valid. So for example, I want to actually go ahead and find one that's going to work. So for example, this has got a big border, for example, this will work here. So let's put this one in. Let's paste this like so. And then we can crop it within the circle. So we know this is how big it's going to be. This is our container. So we can control that. So finally, we have this. So that's a perfect example. It's kind of trial and error sometimes. We're just trying to find that exact right one. Now the company description, you can either find this on the website with the About Us section, or you can simply just go ahead and go to Wiki. And you can just copy and paste the first few lines, for example, for the company description into here. Okay. And then we have the contact information. So this is going to be, go to add contact, add link. I'm just going to do 4 things, but there may be more use cases. So the first one, of course, is going to be their website. So their official website, let's copy that link. Paste that in here. Let's label this website. Next one, for example, could be their LinkedIn. And the best way to get all this stuff in one place is usually just to go to their site, and then hopefully they have it on here, but usually scroll to the bottom, and they usually will have all their stuff here. Let's have a look. I'll have it from there. Okay, But usually you could go to most areas and they'll usually have their socials about. So let's just see it through Google for this case. Link.
What about the icon for social media? It will change automatically?
Yeah, it will change automatically to reflect this. Let's do their YouTube.
Okay. So it's linked to the name, right? So we need to write like link and then it will use link and icon.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Final one list, for example, let's do their Twitter, maybe a bit more relevant.
And what happens if you enter like wrong name?
Wrong name, you can go ahead and you can go back and kind of edit that afterwards as well.
No, I mean, what icon do we show when, like, for example, I write Twitter with 3T.
With this, so let's go to Accenture to kind of show this. So, for example, you can see it here.
Yeah.
It will show probably Twitter with the 3Ts, but you need to go ahead and go back into the settings afterwards, which you can for brand by just clicking settings. Then you can see, like, for example,
okay,
you could go back in and change that.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. No worries. So that's an example: website, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. You can go endless with Apple because they have loads of socials, but other companies won't have as much. But they're like the main important ones to do. Okay, so we've got our logo, we've got our name of our brand, and we've got a few links as well, which would be on their website. And for this one here, we can kind of just click Ireland. That's fine. If it's going to be the US client we're working with, then of course do US. Now hide company page.
Servers?
Pardon?
It's a servers like US and
yeah, exactly, just where it's hosted. But it's not. It's not too. You don't have to think about it too much. The main.
We can store it, or we can like have the content onto servers, and you can choose on which one do you want to have it. Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, it's definitely used for the American clients. And then next thing is the advanced settings. So hide copy pages from search engines. So it's basically it won't show up in any SEO. So we use this when it's things for private content. So that's going to be Accenture content. But when it's public companies we're working with, we don't need to select this. For Apple, we're not going to. So our next thing is uploading an icon for the sidebar. Okay. So you know when we click on the left-hand sidebar, for example, let's use this. This is what we're seeing here. Okay. So that's the image that's going to be shown. So I'm going to go back here. And this one is going to be more text. You don't want the logo. You want more of the actual text for this one. So I'm going to take this one here. Let's see if this one works for us. Let's copy the image address again. Let's link this in. Let's see if this one fits in. Load that.
So there will not be any container for this image.
No. So what we create specific ones. So you can create like, for example, a container, and you can have the image within that instead to make sure it stands out, for example. So it's kind of either or for that one. And then finally, we have our background image. So what we see here is our background image. Now, sometimes you get imagery, but you need to make sure that this text can still be visible. So you can use block colors. For example, we could just use a whole block color that we bring as an image for Apple, or we could go to their Twitter, which is usually where they have some sort of kind of background header image. Let's just take that one for the moment. So of course, that phone. So we'll just use this. Put this in. Let's upload that. Okay. So our final thing now is to add the CSS. So what we're going to do is go back to the original page we're on, just telling us how we set up a brand.
Tom, quick question. So do we add like favicons and all the other stuff for other clients?
Sorry, say that again. My volume's a little bit quiet.
Do we add like favicons for other clients?
The second word you were saying, I'm sorry. Do something for
favicon, that icon in the tab.
The icon in the tab. This one.
Like like the third button, the fourth one. Upload favicon.
Oh, this one. Yeah, ignore these ones. So basically, because this is not client facing, we have basically just a few things they're testing out. So like social image, fav icon, just ignore these completely, basically.
So that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. Oh, fav icon. Oh, sorry, you're asking how to pronounce it. I see, dude. That's why I would. I get it now. Makes more sense.
So in Russian, you just call it favicon.
I got it. I see. I was wondering why I was understanding that then.
Mhm.
Just ignore
Okay,
those
cool.
two. Those two,
Yeah.
they're irrelevant at the moment. This is just the dev team have certain things I know they're testing out.
Mhm.
Thing is the CSS. Now, you don't need to be a whiz of CSS to understand this. You just need to understand that where a hex color code needs to be changed. So we go back to this page here, and we have the automated CSS that we simply click onto this, and we just copy it. So I'm going to copy all of this CSS. Okay, and you can see I've highlighted areas here where we're going to be changing the colors. So these are just the main colors of the brand. So as we go through, I mean, it's good if you understand this, but you don't need to. You just need to make sure you're finding where the colors are, like so, and changing them to the Apple colors, okay?
Okay, so we can change the button color, like in the user page, the background color too, right?
Exactly. So I'm going to go to Apple now. Of course, Apple's main color, they don't have too many vibrant colors. It's usually this kind of black they have, and they have white. So like when I'm hovering over here, there's not a huge contrast. But you know, so it's like most companies will have a main company color and an accent color.
Yep.
So for example, for Apple, I'm going to use this blue. So their main color I'm just going to take is going to be like this, which is going to be their that's the general grade that they use. So I've just used I think it's called Codezilla, I believe, just to like grab their color quickly. And I'm now going to go through here and change each one.
So button. Okay. Okay, cool. I was asking this question to Alex, but he didn't know how to do that.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a made in the key to and a few of the other people know how to do this. Now you'll notice when I get to the bottom, see like the preset colors, this was this color. They were all the same. There's 497 EEB. This is what I changed.
Navigation bar.
However, this is now our accent color here for Apple. You see how this one's slightly different. So when I hover over, for example, Relayto, you see the gradient changes, or this is a better example, the cancel, there's a gray. So this is
Okay.
what's going to happen when I hover over stuff. So I'm going to go back to the Apple page.
This one's the primary one.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to try and get a blue. I'm going to try and get this blue here. If not, I'm just going to pick one for demonstration's sake. There we go. Okay, so I've got this blue now, and that's going to be my accent color. I'm going to press confirm. And now I've created a page for Apple. The final thing I need to do now, I can check back through everything, and I press create company page. I'm not going to create it because it will then be in my library for a while because I want you guys to have a go at creating a few things. But then you just press create, and it's done. So that is how we create just a standard company page. The next one I'm going to do is showing you how to create an Accenture company page. But any questions at all?
No.
Yeah, all good. Mike, does that make sense? We can also you can watch back through this recording, of course, afterwards. But in general,
Yeah, so far it makes sense for me.
all right, awesome. So our next one is how to make an Accenture brand. Okay, so with Accenture, obviously we have lots of different projects. So we have, for example, we had Accenture Kaiser the other day. We have Accenture BMW. Now this one's really easy to do because basically all we're doing is you go to the source page of Accenture.relayto.com and you just copy every single thing from here, from the CSS, the background, all of it. The only thing we're changing is the name. Okay. So I'll just show you how this is done now. But again, this will be fairly simple because you've just watched this. So for example, let's say Accenture are trying to win a deal with Apple, just like they do with all the other kind of big companies. So all we have to do is do Accenture. Here, okay. Now what I'm going to do is go through this and copy everything they have here onto this company page. So I'm going to press this like so. I'm going to go down. Can I extract this one? I think I can if I inspect. Actually, just so I don't. Actually, that's a lot easier way I can do this. Copy the image address of this one. Go to the URL. Paste this one in. I know this fits because it works for the other one. Copy it to make sure that works. Okay, then of course we have all the website links. So these are the old ones from the one we had before. All I need to do is take it from here, paste it in. So this is more of a copy and paste job really, when you're altering only one area. So I'll just do one to show you what we're doing. But could you imagine that basically you take all these and you paste them in here as well? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Great. As I go down here, you see this is selected, and what you'll notice is hide company from search engine, like we talked about before, because there's confidential materials. So when I go down, I'm selecting this one here, okay? The next one is the Accenture icon here. Now, sometimes we do custom ones for this, okay? So you notice this one is just Accenture, but what we do as well is we shrink the Accenture logo down. We'd have it in this kind of this box that it's in, and we did Accenture, and then what follows would be the logo would be Apple, okay? Because it's a collaboration of these two. Does that make sense? If you were asked, that's what you need to do.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm just going to copy this image across so we not confused if it's Apple at all. That's what we'd have to do if it was a real Accenture Apple project. We'd have Accenture here, then we'd have Apple over here, okay?
Mhm.
And finally, for the image stuff, again, I just copy the image address, saves a lot of time instead of downloading all this stuff. Add that in. So our final thing, after we've copied everything, is the CSS. So at the moment, we have the CSS, the very basic CSS, which we had from here, okay? The reason the CSS is different is because on the Accenture, we have a lot of things like the cookie policy, the privacy settings, all these kind of things, okay? And the fonts. So when you look at this CSS, what you need to do is go to it, you select all of it, go all the way down, because there's a lot more detail going on this one. Copy it, right to my other one. You see how much shorter this one is for a basic company. And I paste it in and I press confirm. Okay. And again, let's go back to the top. I make sure everything's okay. And I press create company page. And that's how we create two different company pages. Is there any questions at all about that?
No, I think. At least for me, no.
Yeah. Okay, Mike, is that all clear?
Yep, all clear on my end.
All right, awesome. I'm gonna stop recording now. Give me a second to just so I can find my